Hey guys, how's it going? Pete Mercer here, and welcome to the final part of my How to Plan Your Gym Session series, if you will. So, now we've done our warm-up and we've done our main exercise, we're going to cool down. So, what does this entail? So we're returning the body and mind to a state of pre-exercise, decreasing the pulse, decreasing our body temperature, and stretching the muscles in an appropriate way. So what will this do for us? Well, following intense activity, blood is diverted to the working muscles and there's a tendency for blood to pool in the extremities, particularly your legs. So doing light rhythmic activity involving the muscles used in a decreasing intensity will aid venous return, so blood flow coming around, and prevent blood pooling and dizziness. So something you might have experienced yourself after an intense gym session. You do your weights and you just walk out of there and you think, oh, feeling a bit not great, and your head's a bit funny. So this helps with that. And it also disperses lactic acid, which is something we want because it prevents delayed onset muscle soreness and it helps the muscles kind of recover a little bit. So how are we going to cool down? We're going to start with a cool down CV, much to the reverse of our warm-up. So what are we going to do? We're going to do an exercise that is seated, and this will help reduce our body temperature and our heart rate quicker or easier. So this is again going to be for 5 minutes, and we're going to go from an RPE of 6 to an RPE of 1. So basically I recommend the same kind of thing. So 1 minute RPE 6 to 5, 2 minutes RPE 5 to 3, 2 minutes RPE 3 to 1. So that's going to be our cool down CV. Very simple. So basically making sure we're cooling down, we want to do everything seated or lying down, and that's just going to cool everything down much better, much more efficiently. So 5 minutes cool down CV. Then we're going to go on to cool down stretches. Now these are going to be static stretches, and this will help again with recovery, with the lactic acid, and just relax everything down in a nice way. So again, everything will be seated or lying down. So I'm going to recommend doing 5 exercises. We're going to do 1 set of each, and we're going to do 15 seconds of hold this stretch for 15 seconds for maintenance. So that's just maintaining the joint where it is, and you know, if you're fairly flexible, you don't have to really push things. So that kind of keeps everything where it was beforehand in a good state, and then holding the stretch for 30 seconds for developmental stretching, which means taking your range of motion a little further than you're used to and trying to increase our mobility and flexibility, which is important for some things like for example, some people have very tight hamstrings or your hip flexors, things like that. So doing developmental stretching will help increase your range of motion, and that's a big thing to work off as well. So I'm just going to throw out 5 things that might work for you and basically encompass the entire body. Obviously if you're doing only upper or only lower, you just want to cool down the muscles that were actually used. But let's just assume we've done a full body workout. I'll just run you through some stretches that I would recommend doing. So first one, lying hamstring stretch. Very simple. Lie on your back, pull one leg up close to you, keep it straight, 15 seconds, done. Lying quad stretch, lie on your side, grab the top of your foot and pull your knee into flexion to back. It's the kind of, everyone does it. It's the kind of one that everyone does where they go so just basically pull the bottom of your leg towards you, lying down on the ground. So there is basically the bulk of your legs done. And then I would say a kneeling lat stretch, just very simple. Just get on your hands and knees and stretch to the side, and then that will stretch your lat. 15 seconds either side, or 30, whatever. Seated pec stretch, very simple. Just sit down and do this for 15 to 30 seconds, and then a seated trap rhomboid stretch is basically doing that and just stretching shoulders and the rhomboids. And that is a very general, kind of covers just about everything in the body very quickly. 5 stretches, very simple, but again, only want to cool down the muscles that we've used. You can do whatever stretches you want, just make sure it's a static stretch. 15 seconds to maintain the flexibility and joint range of motion that you have, or 30 seconds to kind of bring it along further. Obviously, I've stressed before how important mobility and flexibility is, personally anyway, and it definitely will benefit you as well. So to recap, cool down, all the good stuff, bring the body temperature down, and cool the body down and reduce the pulse rate. And we're going to do cool down CV, which will be 5 minutes, RPE of 6 to 1, and then we're going to do cool down stretching, which has to be static, and we're going to be either seated or lying down. So there you have it. That is the entire gym session. Warm up, main component, cool down. That's how you approach it. That's what it's going to do for you, and that's like the importance of encompassing the whole thing when it comes to going to the gym. It's not just about walking in, picking up the heaviest weight we can, putting it down again, and leaving again. It's a little bit more to it than that. So I hope this helps, and I hope you can get something out of it and utilise some of the things I've covered in the videos. So as always, thanks for watching. I'm Pete Mercer.